those tough conferences, those deep conferences and very talented, balanced conferences never really have tournament success. And the one kind of feeling that this morning is the SEC. The SEC was one of the best conferences in all of college basketball. I make the argument they were the best, right? I know the Big 12 has a lot of really good teams as well. The Big 12, whether it's Kansas, whether it's Baylor, Texas Tech, I get it. I do, though, think the SEC from 1 through 14 was the toughest and the deepest conference this season. They had 4 teams ranked in the top 17 in the final rankings heading into conference championship weekend. And here's the issue. 6 of those teams made the tournament, 5 eliminated on the first weekend. It's not a coincidence. Teams or these tough conferences, the grueling conferences that have a lot of talented teams that are a gauntlet night in and night out, always tend to have most of their teams eliminated right away. Because now we are seeing the grind of the regular season, the pressure and the stress that comes along with playing every game at very high intensity. It wears teams out come tournament time. So teams in the SEC coming more exhausted, more worn out, more beaten down than, let's say, teams like Gonzaga in an easier WCC, or teams like Duke in a easier ACC. Just the way it happens, just the way it always goes down. Growing up, I was a huge Notre Dame basketball fan. So I used to watch a ton of Big East, old school Big East basketball with Louisville, with Georgetown, with Syracuse. And every single year, those games would be physical. They would be down to the wire. They would be tough. The Big East in the regular season was so much fun. They were deep. There were so many talented teams. It was kind of an old school, physical, throwback kind of style of conference play. But the thing is, the Big East year in and year out would get 7, 8, 9 teams in the conference into the tournament. And then by opening weekend, 6, 7, 8 of them would be eliminated just like that. The grind, the wear and tear of these tough physical conferences wears you out come tournament time. And the SEC is dealing with this reality this year. Because you look at some of the teams and the high seeds that were eliminated, we really shouldn't be surprised that so many SEC teams bowed out on either the first or second round. Like you look at Auburn. Now, Auburn, after getting off to that hot start going 22-1, has been struggling late down the season. And yesterday, lost to a Miami team that not only was less talented than them, they blew a real opportunity to at least have an easy run to the Elite Eight and maybe the Final Four. Like now with that Miami loss, they could have played Iowa State, who's having a tremendous and Cinderella-type run so far, going from 2 wins last year to now a Sweet 16 possible Elite 8 berth this year. Their turnaround, has been very impressive. But for Auburn, you have Jabari Smith, a lottery pick. You have Walker Kessler, a very highly talented, highly ranked recruit coming out of high school when he was at UNC last year. Very great player. You have deep and a talented roster. And Auburn came in struggling, bad out in the second round. Tennessee, one of the hottest teams in all the country, came in winners of 13 of the last 14 games, won the SEC championship, and lose to a Michigan team, get eliminated by a Wolverines team that barely made the field, needed to get into the first 4 just to be able to, barely missed out on the first 4, and was able to upset Colorado State in round number 1. But Michigan should have been in the first 4. Michigan was one of the last teams in. Doesn't matter. They're in the Sweet 16, and they bounce one of the hottest teams in all the country. Arguably, maybe the hottest team coming in. But it doesn't stop there. Kentucky losing to St. Peter's, where Kentucky came in kind of scuffling, not playing great basketball, and now, after a grueling SEC regular season, suffer really what is Coach Calipari's probably the worst loss of his career. Losing to 15 seed St. Peter's in round number 1.